Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson down at the enclosed ground where the Saints has taken the unbeaten run to 4 games with a 1-1 draw with Whitehawk. We led after about half an hour in through Zane Banton's first goal for the Saints, and that looked as though it was going to be enough. The chances came and went, and then 2 minutes into added time, Whitehawk did to us what we did to Margate last week, scored an equaliser.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I felt that the performance deserved the 3 points, and I think the players deserved the 3 points. I thought they put a great shift in today, and unfortunately we didn't get the second goal. And in any game like this, as you showed with Margate last week, if you don't get a second goal, you're always susceptible to a strike like that. And you know, Glenn Southam there's probably never hit a ball. Well, he probably has, but as sweet as that on the last minute. And I was disappointed because I felt we defended the free kick in the corner very well. We cleared our lines. It's just unfortunately we didn't get anybody onto the edge of the box coming out to go and block the shot, which at the end of the day he probably had one place to go and put that, and he put it into the top corner, and we can't do a lot about that. But the pleasing thing for me was the performance, the energy, the way we tried to play football, and just unfortunate we didn't go and get the second goal and kill the game off.
Nice that we're creating chances, but as we said, we didn't kill it off. That's the first goal by somebody other than Charlie Walker since the 25th of February, and that's been a problem. Not enough people getting on the end of them. Yeah,
it isn't. I mean, obviously you've seen today. I mean, Sean Lucian's had opportunities. The free kick, I feel he should do better. He should hit the target. But when we brought Sam Merson on, you know, the Kieran's had a shot, come back off the goalkeeper, and Sam's hit it back against the keeper, so there was opportunities there. But even in the first half, we've had Sean Lucian have an opportunity, Kieran's had an opportunity, and I think Zane Banton again's had an opportunity. So we've had enough chances today. You know, at the end of the day, you don't win games unless you score goals. So the pleasing thing was we created some chances today, which was nice. We played some good football in difficult conditions because it is quite bobbly, quite bouncy out there, and we tried to play good football at the right time. We've got a nice energy about us at the moment, and it's just a shame we didn't get the 3 points that I felt the performance deserved.
It's nice that we're 4 games unbeaten, but of course only one of them is win, and get matches against the sides like Margate, like Whitehawk. Everyone just should be turning into victories, perhaps.
Well, we should be, but you've also got to give them a little bit of credit because they're fighting for their lives, and it's seen with St Albans last year when we were fighting for our lives. It's very difficult to play against teams that need to get something out of it. Perhaps if this was a mid-table game today with nothing to play for, then you wouldn't have had the response from Whitehawk. You see how much the goal meant for them when they scored it in the last minute. So, you know, we have to accept that, you know, we're in the position we're in because we haven't been good enough since Christmas. But we're trying to rebuild, and we're trying to build a squad that's going to be good enough, first and foremost, to compete next year, and secondly, see if we can progress from where we are now. But the pleasing thing for me is that the players have shown a great appetite today. We could have quite easily turned up here and not fancied it. The players have turned up, they've put a good performance in, they've put a good energy in, and it's just unfortunate there in that last minute, otherwise we would have deserved all 3 points.
I know how the opposition players are very little concern of yours, but I thought first half, for a side in their position, they didn't really show the heart for what was needed, and I think some of their supporters have comments back that up as well. How did you view that?
Well, listen, I can't be worried about Whitehall because I said before I've got to worry about St Albans and what we're doing here, and you know, I've got to give us a bit of credit for that first half because I felt we totally took the game away from them. I felt our ball retention was fantastic. I felt we won lots of first balls and picked up lots of second balls, and I just felt we had a 10-minute spell after we got the first goal is that we didn't really go and compete against them. We didn't really go and put them under pressure, and we gave them 10 minutes of space and time. But apart from that, I felt quite comfortable the whole game. Once or twice in the second half through balls letting it bounce, but it's always going to be difficult if you let balls bounce. They got opportunities, but I felt we snuffed that out, and then we had enough chances in the second half to go and finish the game off. And I think Sean Lucian got in late on, and he's tried to bend one round the keeper when he could have probably squared it to Zane again. So it's just them little opportunities. We're going to go and work on what we're doing. We need to go and work on being unselfish in certain areas, but also selfish, and that means in terms of getting into an area, and if we've got somebody in a better position, we need to pick them out, and sometimes we need to have a shot rather than trying to pick somebody out, and that probably happened 2 or 3 times in the first half where we got in good possession and good position, should I say, and we've hit the goalkeeper's legs on a couple of occasions, and the keeper's made 1 or 2 good saves. But overall, as I say, I'm really pleased with the way we've gone about our business today, and it's just unfortunate that we haven't picked up the 3 points.
After 3 games without making a change, you switched things around a bit today. Scotty Thomas started at right back, and Kieran Louis came in for his starting debut, and Sean Lucian and Riculta starting line-up. Yeah,
I mean, we had a behind games closed doors on Tuesday night at Hendon, which went very well, and Kieran and Solomon had a fantastic performance down there on the AstroTurf, and showed us lots of things that we'd probably be missing over the last couple of weeks. Sean also had a very, very good game, and Graham Montgomery's got a tight calf at the moment, so it was silly to risk Graham with a hard pitch like this, and to be fair, he wouldn't have been fit anyway. anyway. So, and it was just a decision to get Solomon and Kieran into midfield with David Noble, and unfortunately George Casey's missed out with Scotty Thomas going back to right back. But again, I thought Scotty Thomas was outstanding there in today, coming in at right back. He did it for me probably the last 10-12 games last season, so I know he can do that job. He sits at home and protects the back four, and I felt we looked quite solid today. And the other two gave us an energy in midfield, and they're only going to get better as the games goes on because they need to play games. They haven't played much football since Christmas, and the pair of them will be a great asset to the team.
On Easter Monday, we return to Clarence Park, the visit of Weston-super-Mare, chance to complete a league double, but Weston picked up a little bit of late.
Yeah, they're going to be a good side, as we've said all along. They've got a good energy about them. They play football the right way. They've got a few young players there, and they've still got people like Grubb and Ash who are still scoring goals for them. So it's never going to be. We've said it all along. Doesn't matter who you play in this league. The only way you beat teams in this league is to go and get your second, third, and fourth goal, and then the game becomes easy. If you don't put teams to bed like we haven't done today, and Margate didn't do to us last week, is that you're always susceptible to that opportunity in the last minute, as we was today. So it's going to be a tough game. They've had a 24-hour longer rest than us. We've just got to make sure the players are right. We prepare properly, and hopefully we can go and pick 3 points up on Monday, which will be nice for us to continue what we've done in terms of the unbeaten run.
Finally, a word on the ground. Well, I know we had a word about the Hungerford ground, but this is another unusual stadium, and their supporters, the ones behind the goal, they are magnificent, aren't they? The noise they create and the spirit they create.
Well, you've got to, because they've obviously been in a little bit of a trouble this year. They're in and around that relegation battle, as we know, last year, and you need the crowd behind you, as we got last year. The crowd were fantastic on that run in last year, and I'm sure without the support we got last year, I'm sure we might not have got out of what we got out of, because every time we turned up, we knew we were going to get 700 or 800 supporting what we was trying to do. I think it was only 300 here today, but as you see what they did, they got behind that goal and make a tremendous noise. They got the drum and they got everything else that's going on down there, and it helps them. It gave them the chance they needed, and as I say, for them, they got the point. They probably wanted 3 points and probably thought they'd get 3 points, but give them another point. It gives them something to fight for, and obviously I think this will go right down to the wire in where they're concerned. I think they played Gosport last game of the season, so they've got something to fight for, which is great. We've got to obviously just concentrate on what we're trying to do and improve the players for this season, and obviously then sit down with the players and see what players want to say, what players we want to keep, and try and bring players in that are going to improve us going into the next part of the next season.
Well, of course, we want to sign off in style. 2 home games coming up in the next week. Give the supporters something to cheer about after quite a dismal spring.
Well, it might have been a dismal spring, but I'm sure the supporters had a lot to cheer about in the first half of the season, so they can't be greedy. At the end of the day, if we have to accept what we did last year, we have to accept what we did at the start of the season. We got Carlisle at home in front of 3,500 people, and the supporters have been brilliant this year. We've had numerous games, we've had over 1,000, so yeah, I can understand their frustrations, but we've not done bad for them this year, so we've got to just pick it up. Hopefully give them 2 wins for the last 2 games of the season, and we can sign off with another 6 points, hopefully, and try and pick something up at Eastbourne in 2 weeks' time, because that's going to be tough on the AstroTurf down there.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. So a reminder then, Easter Monday,
Thanks,
2
David.
days' time, the Saints are at home to Weston-super-Mare. National League South. Kick-off at Clarence Park is at 3 o'clock.